They say it's the fastest growing sport in the country at the moment. And I can believe it. If you look at the guys around here, all age groups, we're over 60 and there are over 70 teams, and you can play over 30s, over 40s, but you've got to walk. And people laugh at us when they say walking football. You try it. Try walking without getting into a jog. It's difficult.
Well, we have gathered yesterday and this morning. Some of us have come over on the ferry, others have flown in. And basically because we've been on other events in France, which we've thoroughly enjoyed, and the opportunity to come away and do something somewhere different, somewhere where you wouldn't necessarily go, and just enjoy it.
The day's been structured this morning. All the teams have just rocked up and pretty much played a series of friendlies. No real restrictions as far as age groups are concerned. Certainly some of us are just getting used to playing with each other. A lot of teams here are, especially UK teams, are a bit more established. We're now on a kind of lunch break, and then this afternoon we'll go into the kind of game, proper game time. There's a over 50s and an over 60s tournament, if you like, so it's game on.
The format was over 50s and over 60s, and you played 3 games. So you had a rest and then you played another game, and that was how it went through, like a round robin. I don't know whether the scores were recorded officially anywhere to tell you who the overall top teams were, but it didn't seem to matter.
We've always gone straight into tournaments in the past, but yeah, this is a brilliant idea. Get everybody here for the day, have a friendly kickabout this morning, get ourselves into the rhythm of it, learn how the pitches run, because some pitches are fast, some pitches are slow, and we're just sort of enjoying it. And then they've set us up with lunch, so even better, And we've got a meal on Herm this evening, and that, all the lads are going, oh brilliant, I'm really looking forward to that. How do we get back, by the way? I don't know. So yeah, we're just going to have fun.
Pretty much just getting this kind of game off the ground in Jersey, and this weekend's a great chance to see it play against other teams and look at doing something together with Guernsey and going forward in terms of a bit of a collaboration, maybe picking a Channel Islands team and going playing in further afield. That would be that's certainly one of the areas of it that I'm interested in.
I really enjoy it. I think all of us do. I mean, my first reaction to walking football was seeing the Barclays adverts when it was just beginning to start, and if you've seen the Barclay adverts, it was a group of old men sort of who seemed to be able hardly to move, and the goalkeepers didn't do anything, and I said, I don't want anything to do with that, and my wife said to me, go on, why don't you turn up and see? So I turned up, and I played a couple of games out on field and looked at what we got and said, despite my arthritis, I'm going to have a go back in goal. But I mean, and I found it was brilliant, really enjoyable, competitive enough without being too competitive. But the key thing for most of us is we really enjoy it, and it's a whole new group of friends I'm making, which in your 70s isn't bad, is it?
We've learnt that since we've been coached by some of the coaches from the England team, we've been trying to stop the running. We've also been trying to stop tackling where you're actually physically tackling the person, because they're against the rules. What we've learned today is that we're far more strict about those rules than the rest of the teams we've played. So we've seen a lot more what you'd call running or jogging off the ball, and on the ball we've also seen some quite heavy tackles. So we've been thinking, maybe we should be bringing that back into our game. But at the end of the day, the refs have to decide. So we found it more of a challenge because it's a slower game. If you're walking, you can't cover the ground. So we've had to reshape it a little bit. But anyway, it's good to have players that are playing much more regularly. The UK teams play competitively, so we don't until we get people coming onto the island. So what we've learned is actually we're quite good. We can stand up to them and give them a good game.
We've got players who frankly, they kicked the ball about at school in the playground for a bit, and then they didn't play football again until they kicked the ball around in the back garden with their kids, and then they didn't play football again until they kicked the ball around in the back garden with their grandchildren, and now they're playing walking football. And it's brilliant to have that sort of thing, and if we can encourage other teams just to develop that inclusive approach, then I think that's how the game's going to blossom.
Got 2 absolutely messed up knees, so that's kind of my reason for it. But I think initially it was kind of touted as a kind of over 70s kind of game, and it's definitely not that. I mean, you see some of the guys out here. I mean, it's you actually need as much skill as in normal football as you need in this game, and I think some people don't realise that. So,
walking football to me is an opportunity in my 70s to be playing football, which is great, but more than importantly than that, the community side of it. I lost my wife of 45 years last year, and the support I've had from the lads since is, what's kept me going. So, anybody out there, it's get out of your armchairs and play, because it's brilliant.
I hadn't played football for probably 30 years, and I'd never had any anticipation that I would ever play again, any standard. And suddenly this was available to us, and we, not only was it fun, but actually all that stuff about being part of a club, being part of a team, making new friends, especially when I just retired, and you kind of lose track of all those people back at work.
I've never played football in my life. I spent most of my time just criticising everything on the TV. And then I had a heart condition 3 years ago and started putting weight on and just sitting about, eating and drinking. And then someone said, you ought to get some exercise. So I took up the gym, got bored with that, met some guys from the Walking Football Club in Bournemouth, and I've been playing now a couple of years and hooked on it. Travel around, we're international now as well. Here we are in Guernsey, having a great time.
The networks that you build up at work are surprisingly important, and I think a lot of people don't appreciate that. And when you retire, you're not part of that anymore. You might still have a chat, go out for a drink now and again, but the day-to-day kind of intricacies of the job, you're not part of it anymore. So you have to find something else and things that you can relate to with other people as well. And walking football is absolutely perfect for that.
I think Guernsey walking football is a great way to get to know other people socially and within the sport itself, because when I was new to the island, I didn't really know the club existed. I thought about playing veterans football, but actually I'm way too old and too unfit to do that. And then I saw this, I came along, and within a week I got to know a few players' names, and everybody was so embracing. And the idea is that everybody of all abilities can play alongside each other, and there's so many women playing in the games. We've got younger players coming in, players coming back from physical injuries, players with some mental health issues as well. So it's not about winning, it's about everybody enjoying the sport and supporting each other. I think the camaraderie and the social side of it as well, like we're going to Herm tonight for a meal and a drink, and that is also, the great thing about it is it's a friendship group, so I love it.
If there is anything to take back, I would say I've never been to Guernsey in my life before.
Nor have
I certainly definitely come back. The people have been really friendly, the setup here is terrific, and it's all positive, so yeah, I'll take back those memories. Thanks to the Guernsey guys, because the whole thing is, the setup here is amazing.
Superb.
And the hospitality of the guys, it's just brilliant.